Just finished watching Doctor Who's episode of Lux. And it was so great. 1952, Miami, Florida. Whoa! Doctor Who is in Miami-Dade County. Doctor Who is in Dade County, Miami-Dade. And that old lady who's been appearing at the end of all the episodes, she appears at the end of this episode. And she lets us know that the mystery surrounding her is going to be resolved on May 24th, the day the world was destroyed at the beginning of this episode. Because in the beginning of this episode, they're not able to go back to his companion's time, May 24th. And it's because the world was destroyed. And now the old lady at the end of the episode, that old lady that we've been singing at the end of all these episodes, she says the story ends on May 24th, 2025. Alright? So, I guess that's when the season finale is. But I am looking forward to it. And Doctor Who also breaks the fourth wall in this episode and meets these Whovians. And stay tuned. Stay until after the mid credits. Stay until the mid credits, because there is a mid credit scene with these characters. Okay, after the credits. And it turns out that they didn't cease to exist after the Doctor left. They stayed. These Whovians stayed alive. Alright? One of the things that I liked about this episode was the villain. I thought the villain was really well done. It called Harbinger. And my question is, this villain also in the episode apparently is related to the gods that we had seen last season. Last season, he had run into all these gods like Anubis and from the original series, from season 1. And then this is another one of these gods that are related to each other, called Harbinger. Now, Harbinger is trapped in an old movie theater, right, where he is capturing people's souls or their consciousness on film reels. And the Doctor has to save them. And so you forget in the episode that they weren't able to go back to May 24th, right? 2025. And I forgot the reasoning for going to 1952. I think she said something random. And the Doctor said, yeah, sure, I could go to 1952. But I really like the villain. I can't stress it enough. The villain in this episode, Harbinger, was really well done. And it's basically like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because he's this animation cell that is able, with the Doctor's light. The Doctor has this light inside of him, and he's able to project Doctor Who's energy onto himself and become more than 2D. He becomes a real thing. But he has never walked outside of the theater or outside of a TV screen. So when he stepped into the light into the sun. He just rose up into the atmosphere and out into space at the end. And it was a very, very... This episode was like a very... It was an original story, you know? And they were able to save everyone who had been trapped inside of the film reels. But I also thought the episode had a lot of touching scenes, like when the doctor meets his fans, who they thought were just a moment in time, and they thought they were going to cease to exist after the doctor left. But turns out no. Turns out they were all made real at the end. So it was a beautiful story. It was very well written. I love the costumes. I love the characters. I love the villain in this episode. So this was a very strong Doctor Who episode, I gotta tell you guys. And one that you can just watch, you know, but they really blew it out of the park. Now, stay until the mid-credits, because then you find out that those Whovians are alive. And, what else? Great episode. Great way to start a Saturday morning is watching Doctor Who. But the preview to the next episode. They're like in the future. There's this hole in the ground, right? It reminds you of that Mars episode back in the David Tennant era. So the next episode looks really cool. Really cool. I'll be reviewing it. And wow, love this one, Lux. Talk about, this is definitely up there with one of the best Doctor Who's. Is going to be this one, hands down. So Lux, streaming on Disney Plus. By the way, if you like the episode, like and comment your thoughts below. Did you like the episode? Anybody can watch it, even if you're not a Doctor Who fan. But what really struck me about this episode was the villain. The villain, this was a really good villain. Harbinger.